Hey, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll see how to use Dockerfile. So in my last video, if you have not seen that, I will put a link into the description. We have configured a Ubuntu container image using Docker, and we try to SSH into this newly created host via our Linux PC, and it was successful. So last time what we did is we followed a manual approach to do all the things like to build the image and run the image, and we have manually updated few commands into the VMs. But this time we'll use a Docker file so that our image will be pre-built with all those required commands. So let's start. I will first show you what it's a Docker file and how it looks like. So basically, this is something the format of the Docker file. So at top, you will see from, and I have also opened one website which docs.docker.com, the official Docker reference page. And here we can take a reference of like I have added for from. So what does from means? Create a new build stage from a base image. So like last time, what I have showed you is that whenever creating any Docker container, we have to first fetch an image from Docker repository. So this from command in Docker file will help us to create a new build stage from a base image, and the base image will be something which is already present on Docker Hub. And next, if I go, all this run command are the executables. Like if you see run execute build command, so whatever command you are trying to perform on the VM or on the host container, you can do in advance using Dockerfile. So what I want here is I need a Ubuntu container in which SSH should be pre-installed and the services SSH should be start. So basically what I said is once my container is up, run all this command like do a apt update to update the repository, and then apt install open SSH server. I need to install SSH server, then we'll install sudo, all the same thing which we have done in our last video. And then y is yes. And after that, we'll add a user having this home directory, and it should have the interactive bash shell and this group and supplementary group and user ID, and then finally the name of the user, my user. If you want detail of this, I have already explained in my last video. And then I will change this username password. So my user password I will put it as a test, and then I will put services as a start. But what I have experienced is sometimes this command won't work, so that's why I have put here to restart the SSH services. This will really help you if you want to establish your SSH server. And I'm exposing my container to port 22 on SSH. So all this command I'm already ready with. So let's, and if you want, like you want to dig more into what other feature of Dockerfile you can use, so you can take all these. These are very helpful. But for today's video, this is enough. Like we can use this and we can create our Docker container of Ubuntu. So if I do ls, I don't have anything here. Let's create a Docker file. You have to create a plain Docker file without any extensions, like you don't do any .txt or anything, just Docker file, and then copy all these. Now do a escape :wq to write it and do a ls. Now we'll verify what we have added. Sorry. Yeah, you can see whatever there in my notepad, I copied everything into this Docker file. So our Docker file is ready now. So we will use this Docker file to build our image. The command to build image using Docker file is docker build, and we'll give it a tag, and that tag will be basically the name of the image. So SSH image, and then you will have to put a dot here. So this dot will execute this Docker file. Let's hit run. So you can see in background it's running. So we'll quickly go through each of these steps. So first of all, what it did is it's load the metadata from docker.io, which is a repository of Ubuntu because we have mentioned that please download Ubuntu latest. So that's why it's downloaded the Ubuntu image, and then finally, not finally, then the next step is to run the images. Sorry, run the commands. Like in the run command, you will see first of all it run the apt update and apt install openssh sudo yes. After that, it has added the user, then changed the password, then started the SSH, and all this thing it exported to image, and finally writing the image. So this is done. And to verify whether your image build is successfully completed, you will see this finished message. If finished message is not there, then definitely something wrong with your Docker file. So you need to check the syntax, or you'll have to verify these things like whether you have used the correct commands or not. So our Docker image is ready. To check if where is the Docker image, so we can put a command docker images. Yeah, you can see the name of the image is SSH image. So this name we already put a tag of SSH image. That's why it created the image with the name SSH image, and size is 247 MB. So our image is ready. Now this time we don't need to go to the Docker repository to download the image. We have our pre-built custom image already. Now using this image, we'll run a container. So to run that, we can use Docker run again -d. I will run it in a detached mode. I need interactive and TTY shell, so that's why -t. I will give it a name ssh demo, yeah, it's fine. And then finally the name of the image. So previously what we did is we put the name as Ubuntu, because we have seen on the Docker website the Ubuntu name was mentioned for that official image. But this time we already have a custom image built via Dockerfile, which is SSH image. So we'll use this name this time, SSH image, and now we'll run it. Yeah, you have seen how quickly it has built that image. Now to verify whether this container is up or not, we can do a docker ps, and you can see this SSH demo container is now live. So if I want to go and check whether SSH is running on this VM or not, what I can do is I will just copy the VM name or the container name, and I will do docker exec -it, the name of the container, and then I need it to open it in bash. Yeah, you can see I'm already into that container. It says 7203b3. So this is the container ID you will see here. And service, this will be the command to check the SSH status. SSHD is running. So you may have observed like how quickly we have built a container with the help of Dockerfile, and everything whatever is our requirement is pre-built into that with the help of these commands. So this is a very simple example to run a SSH service. Suppose consider in a production environment you want to run some application, and that applications have too many dependencies. That application will have to run hundreds of commands. So you can have all those commands ready in advance, and it just you will build a custom image with all those set of Docker files, and you can run it anywhere using that image. So this really helps, and that's the beauty of containerization, I will say, and Docker really helps here. So now our purpose is to do a SSH into that container. So we'll do a docker inspect, and that anything we can choose, either container ID or name, both will work. So this is the IP address of the container. Now to do a SSH, what we can do is SSH username was my user. You can see in the Docker name, it's my user is the username @IP address. It's asking for a password. So password we have set as echo my user test. So first, before this colon is the username, after this column is the password. So I will put the test as a password here, and you can see I am into the my user. So in this way we can use Dockerfile to run a SSH server, and you can have the multiple uh, services running accordingly. It's like if you want to run Apache server, you can modify this Dockerfile with the run command. Instead of SSH, you can download Apache 2 and other things as well. If you want to run nginx, you can do that as well. So that's all for, first of all, okay, what we will do is we'll remove all these things so that it won't consume my memory. So let's remove. So to remove a Docker container, we'll have to first stop that image container, and then we have to remove that container, and then finally we have to remove the image. So this is the three process we need to follow. So first of all, we did a Docker PS and we found that container is up from last 2 minutes. So before doing anything, we have to first stop it. Docker stop container ID. Yeah, if you gave this option, it means your container is stopped. So if I do a Docker PS again, no container is live. Now if I want to see if there is any stopped container, so I can do a -a. Yeah, it's showing exited 30 seconds ago. Now I will have to remove it so that I won't see here also. So Docker remove and that container ID. Yeah, and now we do a PSS, you won't see anything. So Docker stop, exit you from the container. Docker remove the container completely. And finally, you will have to remove the Docker image which we have built using Dockerfile. So this is the Docker image which we built. To remove a Docker image, you need to command docker rmi remove image and then the image name. Sorry, this was the container ID. So I will have to copy this image name and put it here. So you can see deleted it says. And now if I do a Docker images, there is nothing. So this is a complete cleanup I have done for whatever we have initiated in the start of this video. So yeah, this following these all steps, you can create your own lab of Docker using Dockerfile. So that's all for today's videos. I hope you liked it, and please help me with the liking, subscribing and sharing this video to your friends and colleagues. It really helps a lot, and thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.